Russia is continuing its violent assault against the free people of Ukraine. Hundreds of people have reportedly been killed, including dozens of children. The war has caused no shortage of problems for the Western world, which is now faced with either letting Putin murder innocent people or getting ourselves into a bloody war that we don't want to fight and shouldn't have to. The whole debacle is driving up oil prices that'll hit low and middle-class Americans in the wallet, and Biden is apparently asking Maduro down in Venezuela to pull our fat out of the fryer and give us more oil because he's too busy trying to appease the hemp chewers to drill for our own. And amid all of this, the leftist media wants you to know who the real victims are and who's being impacted the most: transgenders. Because, you can't let a bloody war get in the way of an agenda.
Leftist actress Patricia Arquette is well known for being outspoken. If there's a microphone nearby, she's likely to use it to say something she thinks is important. Likewise, she has a virtual microphone on her Twitter page, where she has more than 548,000 followers. But with such reach, one would think she'd not only do a little fact-checking to make sure she doesn't get things wrong. One would hope that rather than making up lame excuses when she does get something wrong, she would fess up and apologize.
The alphabet mafia. Don't you just love how everything has to be catered to 8% of the US population? You can't say anything about them that could possibly, maybe, if you look at it in just the right way, be critical of anything they say or do. You have to be accepting of the fact that a woman with a masculine physique and a twig and berries are women and should be allowed to beat the crap out of actual women. And you better include them in absolutely everything, otherwise you're a phobe of some kind. Well, being Greek, I know the word phobia means fear of. And I'm not scared of the alphabet mafia. So be prepared to be offended.
Hey everyone, this is Jessica Kramer with MRC-TV. In honor of International Women's Day, we decided to hit the streets and ask people what they thought of President Biden's Supreme Court nominee.
Hey, what happens when cultural Marxism prompts generation upon generation to discard individualism and mutual respect and to instead lift the false idol of group identity, despite that term being a complete oxymoron, unto the highest, holiest position in secularized Western culture? Well, you get this story out of Portland, Oregon.
3 strikes, you're out. No, we're not talking about baseball. I don't even know where the touchdown is in that sport or how to hit a slam dunk. We're talking about YouTube's method of madness, where if a user gets a warning and 2 strikes within a 90-day period, a 3rd strike gets them out, kicked off the platform permanently. Welcome to episode 28 of Censor Track with TR. This week, we're talking about how big tech, YouTube specifically, is taking any and all measures to shut down talking points that don't align with the constructs of YouTube's own leftist-affirming community guidelines.
This is why legislation, like the Parental Rights and Education Bill, becomes necessary, because schools have decided that they are now the parent and can indoctrinate children the minute they walk into the door in preschool. If the left could start this in infancy, they would. And I don't put it past them to try. Because here's the thing. The left wants to sexualize your kids. The left is obsessed with sex. The left is obsessed with sexual freedom and sex without repercussions or consequences. It's why they push Planned Parenthood, and it's why they are in love with abortions. It's like a religion to them. They are obsessed with it. It is their holy grail. The left is obsessed with fetishizing. The left is obsessed with deviancy. The left is, take the most bizarre thing that you can imagine, and the left wants to take it a step further when it comes to sex. When you are advocating for toddlers to attend pride parades so that they can be exposed at an early age to kink, something in your brain is broken because you are addicted to sex.
I got the vaccine, you got the vaccine, they got the vaccine, we got the vaccine.
Oh, man. You know, folks who thought they had seen it all when it came to government insanity during the COVID and jab debates might want to make some space on their proverbial tables, because this not only is nuts, it reveals a lot about how the ever more political America is being corrupted by the central government.
Welcome to this week's Wacky Moments of Leftist Extremism. We're back from our travels to CPAC and the Media Content 2022 Awards, showcasing the Killing Keystone mini documentary, winning Best Economic News Documentary this year. Check it out. You know who should really check it out is MSNBC's Andrea Mitchell, who on Wednesday noticed Joe Biden blaming his crap handling of energy policy and the steady increase in gas prices since he took office on Vladimir Putin.
With everyone distracted by what's been going on between Ukraine and Russia, they've taken their eyes off the fact that we are currently experiencing possibly the worst presidency in the history of this country, save maybe Woodrow Wilson. And listen, this isn't Russian sympathizing or Putin puppetry. In my unvarnished opinion, screw Russia, Putin, and any other country that takes America's eye off the ball. Take that how you will. This is simply a reminder of how supremely incompetent the facts make the current regime out to be.
In a move akin to the old Soviet Empire, perhaps meeting Monty Python's absurdity, the United States government has launched $2.1 million in taxpayer money to root out oppression in plant sciences. Oh man, it sure is great to have the U.S. Constitution safeguarding all of our liberties and property, isn't it?
Biden has found himself a new straw man to light on fire for all of his terrible policy decisions. Putin. Because apparently we're all stupid enough to believe that the inflation and gas prices that have been going on for the past 14 months are all because of a war that's been going on since February. And while we're at it, you might as well tell me that water isn't wet, Hillary Clinton is a saint, and hell would be a great place to open a ski resort. Because I'm about as apt to believe all of that as I am to blame Putin for Biden's terrible track record. Because gas prices and inflation are entirely his fault, and we have the receipts to prove it. Whole wallet full of them, in fact. And they are a crap load higher than they were just before he took office, and well before Putin invaded Ukraine.
The war in Ukraine has shocked Americans and freedom-loving people around the world. But as with any tragedy or conflict, we must be more vigilant than ever against propaganda that can spark a world war. Coming up next on Tech Shark.
In news that's shooting like lightning across America, a new Maryland bill and its prime sponsor are receiving intense scrutiny and opprobrium. Justly so, because the legislation could make infanticide legal in the state.
Hey everyone, I'm Jessica Kramer with MRC-TV. Stephen Colbert recently said that in order to have a clean conscience, he was okay paying $1 or $2 extra at the pump.
Today, the average gas price in America hit an all-time record high of over $4 per gallon. Okay, that stings, but a clean conscience is worth $1 or $2. I'm willing to pay $4 a gallon. Hell, I'll pay $15 a gallon because I drive a Tesla.
We decided to go to a gas station and ask people if they're okay with that, and ask them about what they think of these rising gas prices.
It's St. Paddy's Day week. This week is supposed to be full of leprechauns, luck, and beer. But Big Tech's only celebration is more censorship. Lucky for YouTube, however, they get a feature on this show 2 weeks in a row. Welcome to episode 29 of Censor Track with TR. This week, we're talking about how former President Donald Trump is not so lucky when it comes to getting an equal seat at the table on social media. Pretty much everything online about Trump is taken down, given warning labels, or banned. Does this happen to Biden? Not that I'm aware of.
If you're like me, like I know I'm like me, there might be a handful of people who, despite your best efforts, you find just aren't in your tribe. They're the kinds of nefarious characters whom you wouldn't trust to sit beside you for a powwow and smoke the proverbial peace pipe, even though I wouldn't do that anyway. They're the kinds of folks for whom one feels a compelling, natural, dare I say, native vibe of distrust. And far be it from me to guess that you too might feel this way about Massachusetts Senator and famous Native American Indian Liz Warren, the Democrat, of course, But perhaps this story will nail down that vibe.
I personally don't have a TikTok. I'm not going to have a TikTok. Don't care anything about it. But apparently the White House does, because they think that that's how they're going to get out this propaganda message that Biden is not responsible for the crazy high gas prices that you're now paying and the fact that you're pissed about it. So here to talk to me today about some of the lies and deceptions that the Biden administration has been pushing to this end in trying to not take any responsibility at all for the gas prices that are hitting you in the wallet. We've got Fred Lucas. He's the White House correspondent for the Daily Signal, which is the news outlet for the Heritage Foundation. Thank you so much, Fred, first of all, for coming on with me.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. Hey, I think it would be great if we could blame Putin, because none of us likes Putin. But this is, I think it's hard for any American who's been living, who's been shopping, who's been filling their car up with gas, to think that this is a recent phenomenon that's happened after Putin sent soldiers into Ukraine. No, this has been going on for over a year now, and this is and it's been gradually ticking up. So we're talking about both inflation and the price at the pump.
Welcome to this week's Wacky Moments of Leftist Extremism. The media has been focused on the Ukraine, and with the invasion from Russia and the tragic loss of life there, that is a significant news story. But of course, the media has to twist it to push their leftist agenda.